of Kerala. And remember, anything above 40 by and large seems to have been on the higher side in this political stock exchange. So when we asked respondents what they thought of Pinarayi Vijayan government, 42% gave a thumbs up, saying they are satisfied with the performance of the CPIM government in Kerala. On the question of being dissatisfied, 27% indicated that they were dissatisfied, about 1/4 of the respondents, 26% saying they were not certain, they thought the government was average. So this is not spectacularly high marks, but this doesn't mean that Pinarayi Vijayan is failing either. It's a relatively strong performance of the CPIM government in Kerala. The next question: who do people in Kerala want as the next chief minister of the state? So let's show you the responses here. Leading the pack, the current chief minister of the CPIM, Pinarayi Vijayan, coming in at 27%. If you compare this with chief ministers in other states, this is rather poor, especially in comparison with strong incumbents like a Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao, or even election-bound Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Raman Singh, far higher ratings than Pinarayi Vijayan has managed to muster. Coming in at number 2 is Uman Chandi of the Congress with 20% approval ratings. Achyutanandan coming in at 12%. So if you add the both of them, then there's still a lot of support for the left. But Pinarayi Vijayan coming in at number 1, Ramesh Chennithala coming in at 7, O. Rajgopal coming in at 5. So you've really got the BJP nowhere in the fray just at this moment, and that really, GVL, is one of the problems for the BJP in Kerala. You can whip up some of these issues, but you still don't have one face around whom the entire machinery in Kerala can come together.
No, I think we have already been on a rise. If you look at our performance in Lok Sabha polls and in the assembly polls subsequently, the BJP certainly, this is one state in the south where we have been gradually galloping our support.
Very low base, very low base. You're still between 10 and 15%, well behind the other two parties.
States like West Bengal and Kerala will melt suddenly. I think you will see a melting point. One sudden election, you will see a massive swing against the left front. I certainly see the LDF and the UDF both yielding space to the BJP.
Very interesting that you are equating it to Bengal. Yogendra Yadav, do you buy this theory that Kerala could go the West Bengal way? Yes, in West Bengal we are seeing the BJP emerging as the principal challenger to Mamata Banerjee. But do you really see that happening in Kerala, a state which has had a strong bipolar UDF versus LDF politics for the last 50 years?
That's
several weeks now. How exactly is the government's role and that of the court being seen on Sabrimala? The big question: is the Supreme Court's decision allowing women to enter the Sabrimala temple, menstruating women to enter the temple, satisfactory? Yes said 21, no said 46. Yes 21, but no 46. 46 people are giving the thumbs down to the Supreme Court's order allowing women's entry, and don't know said 33. So clearly, in a way, this will be seen as an endorsement for those agitating on the streets, protesting the Supreme Court order. We also, the centre, bring in an ordinance against the Supreme Court's Sabrimala order. And take a look at the numbers again. Yes said 41. 41% of the people want intervention to overturn the Supreme Court order. Remember, there's a review petition that has been filed. 26% said no, 33% said don't know. So there's a large number of people saying don't know, but first reactions, Rahul, clearly is that the popular mood is we do not want Supreme Court intervention in matters of faith.
And Rajdeep, this is the opportunity the BJP is sensing. If you see, there's been a complete volte-face from the time when BJP leaders at the centre welcomed the Supreme Court judgment on Sabrimala. The Congress welcomed it as well. On the ground, we're seeing huge protest where BJP leaders in the state and Congress leaders demanding that there be an intervention under the Supreme Court verdict be done away with. I want to go across to GVL Narasimha Rao on this. This is good politics. Clearly, in a state where the BJP is struggling to find a toehold on the issue of entry into the Sabrimala issue, you can see that you can rally people, especially the the Hindus of Kerala. But this is also political opportunism. When the verdict came, multiple BJP leaders welcomed the Supreme Court's order. Now you're sensing an opportunity.
Can you name one? I don't think any of us spoke on this issue. We clearly think this is a matter concerning faith and sentiment. I don't think you can name even one or two central leaders of the BJP who reacted on the judgment.
What an exact quote from Union Minister for Women and Child Development, Maneka Gandhi, who says that this will make Hinduism more inclusive. Hailing the Apex Court judgment, your minister said it's a wonderful judgment that paves the way to make Hinduism more inclusive. It opens up the way forward for Hinduism. And this is not the property of one caste or sex. Originally, senior leaders of your party did welcome this judgment. Now, of course, you're turning the other way.
No, none of us in the party commented on this.
She's in your party.
As the minister, she has a different role, obviously.
She's in your party, she's your minister, GVR.
But every minister, no minister in the government will comment against a judgment. Okay? Even none of us in the party also commented against it. I think what she said is certainly the government's position on this.
Rahul, Kerala is a classic state where they say one thing in Delhi and one thing in Thiruvananthapuram. The CPM also says it's very secular in Delhi, but there in Kerala, it focuses on it needs a Hindu vote bank. The Congress claims it's a secular party in Delhi, plays the minority vote can, aligns with the Muslim League, aligns with minority Christian groups in Kerala. This is the nature of the politics. They practice the politics of vote banks in Kerala, and obviously Maneka Gandhi has to contest Pilibhit. She doesn't need to contest in Kerala. That's the reality, harsh reality of these politicians.
We certainly think when there is a popular sentiment and when this constitutes a core part of the faith, I think Honorable Court may like to review its own judgment. So I think the appeal has gone back to the court and the court will decide on this matter. We would not make political comments on this.
Let me for a moment go to MP Rajesh, because MP Rajesh, the CPIM government now, and we'll be coming to the other big numbers in a moment on the political stock exchange about Kerala's overall situation. But just on Sabrimala, has the CPIM now found itself on the back foot? Popular sentiment clearly seems to suggest that the people in Kerala are against the Sabrimala decision of the Supreme Court. Now your government seems to be caught between a rock and a hard place, and the violence that took place suggests that your government got it wrong. You didn't anticipate this kind of upsurge, and our numbers seem to suggest that that upsurge is...
Not at all.
Yes, go ahead.
See, the duplicity of RSS and BJP is exposed when their government, the Fadnavis government in Maharashtra, has implemented a similar High Court order removing the ban on women entry in Shani Shiknapur temple. They implemented even without going for the legal option of an appeal to the Supreme Court against High Court order. So they implemented that when the government of Kerala, which is duty bound to implement the verdicts of a constitutional bench of Honorable Supreme Court, they are branding us as atheists, they are branding us as anti-Hindu. The duplicity is exposed now.
But do these numbers worry you? Who are political stock exchange numbers worry you? If these are the numbers, have you willy-nilly, has the BJP got some kind of an entry point into Kerala? Does that worry you at all, that maybe stoking Hindu sentiment in the manner that the BJP, RSS are being accused,
according to your own numbers, Rajdeep, according to your own numbers, a large number of people have replied that they don't know. So
yes.
We are trying to reach out to the people, especially those people who have not yet decided, and we are trying to reach out to those people who are opposed to the Supreme Court judgment. The question is whether to implement or not to implement a judgment by the Supreme Court, and whether the government and CPIM are responsible for such a judgment from the Supreme Court of India. We are not at all responsible for this. We were not a party in this case. In fact, RSS, BJP and Congress, they never bothered to implead when the hearing went on in Supreme Court for a long 12 years, and even they are not ready to approach the Supreme Court through a review petition, and they are fighting the Supreme Court order on the streets.
Tom Bharat, look at the Congress. You two are caught between a rock and a hard place, because now you've got a Congress former MLA, Gopal Krishnan, impleading himself to the Supreme Court review petition. So it appears that the Congress also doesn't want to be left out. You're worried that the Hindu vote or a section of it could go to the BJP if they took a strong stand, and therefore you also want to, in a sense, align yourself with this so-called popular sentiment. So you say one thing in Delhi and you do one thing in Thiruvananthapuram. Gender equality in Delhi, but on the streets of Kerala, it's all about faith.
Rajdeep, this is not the Congress officially sanctioned move that this gentleman has taken. It is not the Indian National Congress's flag under which there are political leaders, and there are political leaders who take positions from time to time.
Were
But
Congress workers and politicians involved in the protests in Kerala or not? Were you all with the BJP and RSS?
I'm saying just that. You can't control the state unit. The state unit
There
has
is
an
mutiny
opinion.
in the Congress.
It's not now.
There is
Let me
mutiny in
correct
the
it.
Congress.
It's not mutiny. Now, I want to ask a question to the left also. They blamed it on the BJP and the Congress. Rajesh ji, I want to ask you, why was the Devasam board given permission to go in for an appeal in the Supreme Court? Devasam board comes under the government. Now tell me, duplicity is on which side? Yours or us?
You are wrong.
All of you
You
are
wrong,
battling
Mr.
for the
Pambadakan.
Hindu vote. It's coming
You are
down to that.
wrong.
All of you in some
was
way or
somebody
the other are
going to
battling
go
for the
on
Hindu
appeal.
vote. Rajesh, respond.
They are not going to go on appeal.
They have been given clearance by the government and they're going in for an
Mr.
appeal.
Pambadakan is wrong. This is factually incorrect. Devasam board has not decided. Devasam board has not decided to go on appeal.
But this is what is in public domain.
See, the Congress in Kerala is saffronized.
Denied then.
The
Okay, but
Congress leadership,
we are in
KPCC
the moment Rahul's
leadership
going
in
to look at the
Kerala
bigger
is
numbers of
defying
Kerala, but I just
KPCC's
want to know one
position.
last time. Do you believe Sabrimala is an election issue in 2019, GVL Narasimha Rao? Is it an election issue? Or is it your attempt, like you did with Ayodhya, stoke up a matter of faith, try and divide communities, play vote bank politics?
No, but there are, you see, let me draw your attention to the Honorable Court's decision with regard to the SC/ST Atrocities Act. All of us were on the same page. We said this required some kind of an intervention. There was an appeal in the court, but subsequently all of us, all the entire political, there was a political consensus. Maybe if there is political consensus on this, again there could be a legal solution to this.
No, because
The
we
court
also
itself
asked the
could be-
question, GVL, should the government come out with an ordinance, the central government come out with an ordinance? Very strong backing for it. 41% saying the central government should come out with an ordinance. Why don't you?
I don't think that's a possibility. Certainly now, that's
You
not
came
a
up with an
possibility.
ordinance on triple
But
talaq?
you see, we all defer to the Honorable Court. When the court gives a judgment, it has it has a great deal of constitutional wisdom in this. So if it's really militating against religious sentiment, people are
Mr.
going in for an
Rahul,
appeal. Let's
please
wait for the court verdict.
convince your
So you wait for the court review petition. Rahul.
So let's do one thing. Let's show our viewers now what people